Hello? Hello? Question mark? Sure. Why not? Hello. How are we doing? How are we doing? What's going on? What is going on? This is so strange. This is very strange. I don't know what is going on. There's like nobody here. That's fine. That's fine. Oscars ended and people were like, I'm checking out. If you guys hear like giant crashes happening, it is the snow on this roof crashing down because the weather got really hot out of nowhere. Yeah, I am not where I am supposed to be right now. I am in Minnesota. I'm in the Twin Cities, visiting some family. We will be back in a while. I'm here right now, and then I'll be in Chicago next week and the next week after that, and then we'll be back in Chicago. But, oh shit, the chat is not. There we are. There's everybody. Anyway, I'll say hello to everybody. We haven't done that in a while. How's it going, Jax on Films? John is here. Everybody say hello to our mod John for the day. Walter 3001, good to see you as always. Belangiajo, Pink Reboot, good to see you. Tomas Encore, David Howell, good to see you. Jorma Pesto, it's good to see you. Eli L1, not Eli, L1. Elixtrify reviews. Whoa, a lot going on there. Musahi Miyamoto, good to see you. Jack, how's it going? Ashok, Smarty McGenius, Nick City, and Ow High Guess, Swan the Zone, good to see you. Guys, Jackson Films, Jax on Films is how I'm gonna say it. Hey, good to be here. This is going to be a chill stream. This stream is going earlier than usual. We're an hour earlier than we usually go. And we're also going to run an hour shorter than we usually go because I got dinner plans. So, you guys, I mean, we're lucky we're streaming at all, to be honest. I was about to cancel this stream because I didn't think I'd be able to do it because I don't know what the internet's like here. But it looks like things are running cleanly so far. Yeah. Are you streaming cross-platform? I am not. I should be doing that, right? I should be doing that on Twitch. That'd be a good idea. What's happening, Twin? Nothing much, man. I mean, there's plenty to talk about. I did see both trailers for both big movies that I'm sure people are going to ask about. I did watch the Oscars, which I think everyone here has probably already heard my thoughts on that. If not, thought they were pretty good. If you came to the big live stream on the main channel just a couple days ago, thank you for coming out. That was a big, even though it was really no different than a usual live stream. It's, we do the same thing every time. You just hop on and you talk to people. But it being the Oscars, it just felt like a big deal, and there's a lot of buildup. There was a lot of anxiety in the air, both for the awards and for the actual stream. And so I appreciate everybody coming out. I appreciate everybody being very tame and respectful. It was pretty laid back, all things considered. Just a couple annoying bots, but what you gonna do? It's funny, there was this viral clip of Clavicular shit talking the Oscars, and in the stream, as expected, him being who he is, but in the stream he was like, nobody's streaming the Oscars because nobody gives a fuck. And I was like, actually, good sir, I was streaming the Oscars and I had like 10% of the viewers that you have on Kick. So what are we doing today? We are going to be talking about Clockers, the Spike Lee film. I'm very excited to talk about it. Watched it today, and it's been a movie that I've been wanting to watch for a very long time. It's I would argue, a Spike Lee essential. Or is it? It's got a weird reputation in Spike Lee's filmography, and hearing a little bit about why it got made and how it got made, I'm kind of excited to talk a little bit about it. It's an interesting movie, but I would consider it a Spike Lee essential. We're going to talk a little bit about Dune Part 3. We're going to talk a little bit about that new Spider-Man trailer. We'll talk a little bit about Project Hail Mary, and anything else that comes to mind. It's going to be a bit of a Q&A stream. It's going to be a pretty laid back one because I'm not in my usual setup. I'm doing this all on a laptop, single monitor. It's quite a lot to figure out in a single monitor. So we will not be playing any games today, unfortunately. That's why it's going to run a bit shorter. We're just going to shoot the shit for as long as we possibly can. You gonna hate on Spider-Man because it's in your DNA? So I'm about to surprise everybody. We'll start there. We'll start with the Spider-Man trailer because I watched it this morning. I didn't think it looked terrible. I really didn't, and that surprised me because a lot of people are shitting on it. I think it's maybe because I was expecting something significantly worse, but I thought it looked fine. I liked the Spider-Man theme in the trailer. There was something a bit more old school about it. There was something in there, something like hidden beneath it, that where I felt the essence of this character and the charm of this character, and like what it's always represented to me. It's still a little too muddy and cold and gray and concrete for me. Like, I'd still rather it be a bit warm, given who the character is. But I didn't think it looked that bad. I thought it looked pretty nice. I was like, the way I'm looking at it, and maybe this is a more of a diss than a compliment, but people who know me know I'm a huge fan of the Spider-Man games. Like, that's the kind of the way I've been talking about superhero movies, is I'm like, you know what these are great for are video games. Like, these characters, like, at least today, at least in the modern age, the way they're making them into movies, like, I think they are doing the most for me in the video game format, especially Spider-Man. I've enjoyed the fuck out of those last two Spider-Man games. They've both been like some of my favorite games that have come out the last few years, and I think they're just beautiful looking games. They feel amazing. I love how full they are. Like, it's that at least the new one, the second Spider-Man game, I was like, there's something on every corner. This thing is jam packed with shit. And so I really love those Spider-Man games, and I like the energy coming off of them way more than whatever's coming off of like the last trilogy of Tom Holland movies, which felt really kind of soulless, especially by the third film. We don't need to get into any arguments about that just yet. I thought Homecoming was good fun. Far From Home was a mixed bag, and then No Way Home, I was like, this is not even a movie anymore. But this new one, I'm kind of like, there's something here. There's something here. I don't know if it's going to all work out in the form of a movie yet. I'm very curious how this kind of thing will play out on the big screen, but I didn't think it looked terrible. I think there's potential, and I'm eager to see how it feels. I'm eager to see how that one goes over. There could be something there. There could always be something there. I was shocked I even watched the trailer. I don't watch trailers for these anymore. Like, I don't, like, when it comes to the superhero films, I don't, like, even, it's not even something I tap into normally. So but for some reason, Spider-Man's different. I'm like, I'll show up. I'll always show up for Spider-Man. I'm holding out hope, you know? I want it to be good. I will say, it has the deeply unfortunate timing with the Dune trailer coming out the day before, which looked outstanding. That is really unfortunate timing. Seeing what like amazing VFX look like, if that's what we're talking about specifically. The Dune trailer came out, and I am hyped. That should come as no surprise to anybody, man. I'm a Dune glazer. You know what? One of my favorite lines in One Battle After Another, or one of my favorite deliveries of Leo's, is when he's on the phone. No one ever talks about this line, and he's like, he says it so seriously. He's like, I am a drug and alcohol lover. I find myself saying like that, but replacing drug and alcohol with things like all the time. Like, I am a Dune lover. I love this franchise. I love this trilogy. I cannot wait to see what the hell is happening in this third movie. It looks dark. It looks weird. New DP, Linus Sandgren, if I'm not mistaken. I'm always getting Linus Sandgren mixed up with Robbie Ryan for some reason, but it's Linus Sandgren. Gonna look weird. It's gonna look weird, and I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited. I am a Dune and Denis lover. Exactly. It is such a like underrated line in that movie. That movie's full of quotables, but that line specifically, there's something about it that kills me. Talks about it like it's art. He's like, I am a drug and alcohol lover. I am a Karsten and Paul Newman lover. Yes, man. Love to see that. I was going to tweet that on Oscar night. I was going to be like, well, it's time to get back to the real thing, finishing Paul Newman's filmography. And I couldn't really say that because I haven't actually watched any Paul Newman movies since. I have watched a few movies, though. I watched The World According to Garp last night with my parents. It is going to be part of a larger Watch My Parents' Favorite Movies video. Pretty good movie. Interesting George Roy Hill movie. I forgot about that going into it, and then it pops up in the beginning, directed by George. I also thought that was a much more popular film with at least our generation than it is. I was on Letterboxd 30,000 logs. Like, I'm shocked at how few people have actually seen Garp in this in this community. When are the Paul Newman food reviews? I think when I get back to LA, I'm going to actually seriously start getting into that, because that idea was too good to just let float by. I mean, there's a lot of potential there. Dune Part 3 trailer has 14 million views after one day. That's actually crazy. Break it down. It's got the biggest movie. It's like all of the biggest movie stars have been in this trilogy. It is, if we want to get serious for a second, like the defining trilogy of our generation. Even if you're not messing with it, like everybody's in there, and it's being led by the director who has basically shaped the style of prestigious cinema for the last 10 years. Led by like the movie star, and everyone surrounding him are like the other movie stars. Florence Pugh, Anya Taylor-Joy, Rob Pattinson's in the new one, Austin Butler. I mean, come on, man. Are the Cannes movies lists out? There's a lot of predictions and a couple very notable and likely locks. The new Hamaguchi movie has a poster. I don't know much about the movie itself, but that's a pretty big lock, I would say. New Koreeda, the Look Back live action, I would say, is probably going to be there, but we never know. The entertainment system is down, missing out. We're not missing out, but just not going to be done in time is a bit of a shocker, unless there's an update on that. Last I heard, it's not going to be done in time. Terrence Malick, there's always the chance, but I was seeing something that, like, maybe the Frank Ocean directorial debut. That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Might go to Venice. I don't think I will be going to Venice. I looked into it for the first time ever, and as much as I want to, it really is a pick that or can situation. More than that, it's a pick that or TIFF situation because they happen so close together, and TIFF is just like kind of my baby. I'll always make time for TIFF. So I'm probably not going to have time to go to Venice, even though I really want to. Theo Mueller, thank you for the super chat. Have you listened to the new James Blake album? I thought it was amazing. Wanted to hear your thoughts. I'm so embarrassed to say I haven't yet, and I'm a big James Blake fan. I'm really excited because I like his music a lot. I've loved every album of his, and I loved the new single for this album, but I haven't peeped it yet. I did listen to the new Gorillaz. Very good. Best Gorillaz album we've had in a long time. Like first kind of like big project. Their last stuff, I mean, it's been good, but they've all kind of felt like in one ear, out the other, you know? Are we playing Clash Royale today? Not today. Maybe next time. Unironically, I believe the Backrooms will go there to Cannes. Maybe in like the also regard section. Probably not though. I don't think that's going to be a Cannes situation. Cine 2 Nerdle new season, by the way. God damn it, man. I want to play it so bad, but I literally can't with my current setup. Yeah, it would never be in if if the day of the lineup dropping, we discover that the Backrooms is in competition at Cannes, the industry will be like, we're not in the same place anymore. Like that's a new industry altogether, because that's not going to happen. How do you think Dune Part 3 will do against Avengers in the box office since they come out the same day? I'm really shocked that's happening, and don't really believe it's happening. Like something tells me that they're going to switch up last minute, because that's crazy. I think Dune will perform better. I think a lot of people, even like Marvel fanboys, well, I don't know, man. I really don't know. Because this is a big one. This is not just any Marvel movie. This is like they're going all in on it. And to a lot of people, it's a really big deal. You know where I'll be. And I think like most of society is like, no, man, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know what's going to happen there. Actually, I'm going to take the mature route out. Say I don't know what's happening. I want to believe it's going to be that Dune will perform better, though. It's healthier for the world as a whole if Dune performs better. New Moldovar could be at Cannes. That's true. Apparently a Christmas movie. Don't know much. I know Christmas is in the title. Fjord, definitely at Cannes, yeah. Exit 8 based off an even nicher game, yeah. Also, the movie became picture locked right in time. Kane gave an update in his Discord. Actually, you're right. You're right. Not in competition. Exit 8 was not in competition, but it was in the midnight section. So you're right. They're actually, I wouldn't count it out. Now, when you reframe it like that, I completely forget about like the midnight section, which is where a lot of that stuff goes. I could totally see it. But also, when is the release date? I'm not clued in on that. Nicholas Winding Refn for sure. Yeah, that's a lock. Heard there's a new Hong Sang-soo. Digger is going to be a Venice thing. New Herzog. New Jim Jarmusch. That's probably not going to be ready in time. I heard the new James Gray got rejected, but that was just a rumor. I'm not going to take that to heart. I would be shocked if that was actually the case. I mean, they kind of rejected Jim Jarmusch as far as I know, but Have you heard about the next Damien Chazelle movie? I haven't heard much, other than it's about a prison break. And I forget who it stars. It had like a big star, right? Release date May 29th. Then it would make a lot of sense if it was premiering at Cannes. That'd be crazy. Daniel Craig, right? Oh, yeah, that'd be kind of cool. That would be kind of cool. There's people being like, I saw a tweet that was like, in going back to Dune 3, sorry, for a second. Someone was like, these two are going to be duking it out for Best Picture next year, and it was a picture of the Odyssey and Dune 3. And I was like, do you know how this works? That's not how this works. Oppenheimer was like kind of a special thing. Not to say Odyssey will not be getting anything, but I don't know. I don't know why I don't see that as like a Best Picture thing. I predict it will be a big tech movie, but for some reason, picture-wise, unless he like does something crazy, I'm not sure. And Dune 3, I think there's like comparisons going around, like, you know, bringing up Lord of the Rings, but I think the Academy is mostly, I don't know, why am I acting like I know what's going to happen? Maybe anything could happen. I'm predicting Fjord, Best Picture. I'm all in on Tony. Dominique Sessa, Best Actor. The Academy does Dune dirty. They kind of do. But someone did the breakdown of like how many Oscars the first Fellowship of the Ring got, and then the Two Towers, and then Return of the King. And Dune 1 got more Oscars than Fellowship of the Ring. They both tied for 2 Oscars in their second films, and then Return of the King just obliterated the Academy. Like, it just swept everything. And so you never, if next year's a rough year, which there's not like a lot of big Cannes movies, anything can happen. I mean, we're looking out at the radar, at the what's coming out, and it's like Digger that could be hit or miss. Like, people just forgot about Bardo. He could do some weird stuff and just miss out completely. Dune 312 Oscar record, that's what I'm saying. Or Dune 3 could be like the weirdest one in the trilogy and miss out entirely. We don't know. We just don't know. Then he not even getting a nom for next Dune still a possibility? Yeah, man, he's in the same hole that Park Chan-wook is in, where he did something. New Jane Schoenbrunn could be at Cannes. That is true as well. I don't know why I don't see that one either. But I don't really know anything about the movie. The movie looks gorgeous, but it looks weird. Which I guess, you know, that's never stopped any movie from getting at Cannes. Tony sweep is imminent. It would be, I mean, let's not count it out. It is an A24 biopic starring Dominic Sessa, who has had success before, about a beloved figure, Anthony Bourdain. It's going to, I mean, I would not be in the least bit surprised if there was like a healthy amount of award support for Tony, and Matt Johnson got his way in that way. Shot by Mike Bauman also. I mean, the pieces are there for it to go far, and that's really funny and exciting to me. The entertainment system is going to be so good. You're the first person I've heard say that. Like that, I love to see it. I'm not dissing you by any means. I'm just like, there's a lot of pessimism around that film. There's a lot of people that think that thing is going to be dog shit. But like, we need more people like you. We need to have hope. I'm a little on edge about it, but I don't know why I'm doubting a filmmaker who I've enjoyed every film from. I wish there's a new Aki Kaurismäki, to be honest. I've heard nothing about him. He's kind of been silent. Maybe he is working on something. He's working on another 70-minute masterpiece that I will love. He kind of really cracked something with Fallen Leaves. He did something there that hit with a lot of people. I didn't think that movie would go as far as it did. I'm so excited for the new Martin McDonagh. You're right. I keep forgetting. That's the guy we should be looking out for. That one's going to be special. You're right. Man, this feels good. It feels so good right now talking about anything other than One Battle After Another or Sinners. I'm like, we're so moved on. It feels amazing. My brain feels like cleared up. I can like breathe out of my nose again. I'm not all stuffy with Oscars. It's pronounced McDonagh. Did I not say that? Did I say Donna? Dunna? Terrence Malick Jesus movie surprise release and sweeps Oscars. How have his movies like have they? I know like Tree of Life was nominated, but like did it win anything? Martin McDonald's. Yes. Banshees of Inisherin. I feel like this part of the year is so exciting because there's so many cool new projects coming out. It gets me giddy. Me too. I'm a fan. I'm a little like this is why I didn't go to South by Southwest. Is there hasn't been a ton out of that fest that's gotten me like excited about what's coming out the rest of the year. Sundance more so. Like there's a couple Sundance titles I'm very eager to check out. But South by, I'm like, are you guys more tapped in? Because I've been trying and I'm not. Obviously, there's the new Boots Riley, but everything else, I'm like, none of these are really piquing my interest, to be honest with you. Sender looks interesting, one with Britt Lauer. Thoughts on Disclosure Day? I mean, I think it's going to be good. I'm really excited for it. I've not disliked any new Spielberg movie. Like, I've been really on board with what he's doing in the last, 10 years. So, I'm there for it. And, great cast. You got Emily Blunt and Josh O'Connor. The cinematography kind of won me over on the second trailer. It reminds me a lot of Minority Report in how it looks, which is exciting to me. But, that's kind of all I have to say. I don't really know much about it. I think they're being very mysterious and vague about it on purpose. Like, I'm trying to not to think about it too much, 3 McDonald's billboards. Yes. New Gregoraki thoughts? When is that happening? When is that coming out? It has a distributor, right? Like, I thought it was all set and done. I just don't know when. I thought that would come out. Maybe it's like a summer situation. I'm excited. I've heard it's pretty good. Better than bad. Yeah, Josephine is the one that I'm excited for. I'm excited for the new Olivia Wilde. Couple docs that looked interesting. I'm going to try and go a little bit harder on the docs early on this year, so I'm not playing catch up last minute. Speaking of, now that I've seen more docs and have a comprehensive list of 2025 releases, I will be doing a If I Picked the Oscars video sometime in the next week on the second channel. The second annual Carstos. So be on the lookout for that. What did you think of Project Hail Mary? I just lost what did you think of Project Hail Mary? I liked it. I know I said at the top of the stream that I'm going to talk about it, but I actually am going to keep my thoughts a little. I'm not going to go too deep into it just because I have a video coming out about it. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday. I haven't decided yet. But I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it. It's beautiful to look at, and it's a fun watch. Someone, and I'm forgetting who it was, they said it so much better than I ever could, and I feel bad that I'm not remembering who said it, but some critic called it a live-action Pixar movie, which is a very good way of putting it. But I cannot for the life of me remember who said that. It's a very good way of describing it, though. Hello, what I miss? I talked about the Dune trailer, how great it looks. Talked about the Spider-Man trailer and how bad it looks next to Dune, but how not bad it looks to me personally. Like, I don't think it looks terrible is my takeaway. It has potential. How to Get a Girlfriend? That's a... Just start talking. Just start talking. Be funny. You need to get real witty real fast. Like, start... I don't know what else to tell you. Just get real funny real fast. Works every time. I never had faith in that movie, but maybe my mind will be changed. In Project Hail Mary, you know, I will say, if you weren't sold on... If the trailer pissed you off, I think there's still hope. Because there is a lot of him being like, did that just happen? But there's like something... There is parts of it that are very, very charming. He like wears shirts in that movie that say like sarcasm loading, and it's the bar like booting up. That's the kind of guy he is in the movie, and you just have to kind of accept that and be like, that's who we're working with here, and we need to ride with it. So I met an alien. Yeah, that's what it's gonna be. But like, you know, if you just kind of give into it a little bit, it will charm you. That's what the writing of the book is too. That's okay. Yeah, I'm very curious to read the book now. Also, when I was pulling clips from The Martian, also same writer, he's doing the same jokes. Like, I remember The Martian as a much more serious movie, but watching the trailer, I was like, holy shit, it's like the same guy. But that's am I wrong? Is that a separate book? They're not the same book. I'm unfamiliar with this guy. It's The Martian 2. Is it literally it's not a sequel to The Martian. It's really similar, guys. Yeah. I probably should have read the book. This is the third movie in a row that I've had to cover on this channel where I didn't do any like reading prep. Like, I didn't read Wuthering Heights even though I bought it. I bought the book like 2 months in advance and was like, that's enough time, and then I never started it. So now I just have a copy of Wuthering Heights. I read Frankenstein in high school, but didn't bother rereading it before, even though like The Bride I thought it might have helped. And then I didn't read Project Hail Mary, so I need to just start reading, man. The drama is just a straight up original idea, so I think I'm good there. I'll play some Mario before Super Mario Brothers, just to refresh my memory on Yosh and what's going on there. How's your film coming along? Short film is in the festival thing. I'm waiting. It's really a painfully annoying and horribly timed process, because we finished it like as the deadlines for a lot of things were happening, and we just happened to miss a lot of those deadlines. And then everything we could make, we don't hear back for a while, but we're going to start hearing back. And then like, hopefully that they start coming out. But the short's good and done, and it will hopefully come out soon. You did say that Titty Cut Follies could go on the movie voting poll this week. I did. Yes. Let's throw it on there. Spielberg ranked next. Yes, he is next. He actually is next. I have that in my calendar for June, so I gotta. That's a filmography that runs deep. So I need to maybe start doing that now. There's a lot to watch. Like, I gotta get around to 1941. I gotta do Duel. Will you watch the new Louis Theroux? I've been meaning to. Honestly, maybe tonight. I've been really curious about it, looking more into it. Karsten, why did we start early? Because I have dinner plans after this. I have a hard out at 4 p.m. Central, so we got not that much time today. I'm sorry. I love Donald Glover, but the Yoshi casting feels like a stunt for publicity. He's got a great voice. I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head like how much voice acting he's done, but when that was announced, I was like, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be great. I feel like he'll do a great job. I think the Benny Safdie thing is a lot funnier. I forget who he got casted as, but Bowser Jr. cast as, but I keep forgetting. Did you like Clockers? Thought it was great. Yes, really liked Clockers. I have the same. Well, we'll talk about it. We're not going to get into that yet. It was very much a Spike Lee experience. Collins this week? Yeah, we'll do Collins this week. We can do that for sure. Karsten, I was wondering, because Rob Pattinson is on a generational run, if you've also been waiting half a decade for the Batman 2. Dude, I am, man. I'm excited for that movie. I really liked that first Batman. I really did. I had a great time watching that. And it was a funny memory. There's a lot of funny memories with that screening, but the one I haven't really talked much about is like I went to see that with Cookie, my girlfriend, and we went out afterwards. This was like pretty fresh out of COVID. Not like immediately after, but like I remember it was like maybe the first big theater release since theaters kind of came back. And so it felt really good to like see a long movie like that. And then we went to a diner to talk about it, which is always that's just a good feeling off the bat. Just love that experience. But at the diner, there were like all these other people kind of our age, all wearing like all black. And we felt like we were like back in the movie. We were like, did everybody else just see Batman? Because it was a very like just saw Batman crowd. But it was great. I had a really good time seeing that. It was a fun experience. The full ass songs playing over the dialogue in Clockers bothered me. We will talk about that. That was definitely something I clocked as well. It is a classic Spike Lee decision that doesn't work half the time. But it's a fascinating choice that he does that. He really his relationship with music in movies is crazy. Sometimes it makes it the best scene ever. Sometimes he does it so well and it becomes like, I'm like, this guy's a master. He put all the right pieces together and made a perfect sequence. Other times you're like, dude, turn the music down. I can't understand what anybody's saying. You see that in like Highest to Lowest even. He's still doing that. Like some of the most unnecessary music all out the first half. And then in the second, there's times where I'm like, this is amazing. This is exactly what the scene needed. Is Clockers your favorite Spike Lee other than Do the Right Thing? Oh, no. I think right now it depends on the day, but like Malcolm X and Do the Right Thing are like tied. And then you have Inside Man, which I like quite a bit. You have Black Klansman, which is quite good. The Five Bloods is kind of... This might be crazy to some people, but The Five Bloods is like neck and neck with Highest to Lowest for me. I thought Highest to Lowest was a lot better than people were giving it credit for. And The Five Bloods is just very underrated. She's Gotta Have It doesn't do much for me. That's near the bottom. Clockers probably above The Five Bloods and Highest to Lowest, but maybe like right beneath Inside Man. And then I'm trying to remember what else I've seen. I think that might be it. I need to really... I haven't seen Mo Better Blues. I haven't seen Bamboozled or Old Boy. I've heard Bamboozled is like kind of a huge underrated gem. This was great timing watching this, by the way, with in light of the Oscars and all the Delroy Lindo love, because he is fantastic in this movie. This is a very good Delroy Lindo performance. Don't watch Old Boy. I'm gonna have to watch it eventually, just to see. I know it's gonna be one of the worst things ever. I've heard Jungle Fever is like an interesting one. There's like even his most hated, except for Old Boy. Old Boy's pretty universally hated. But like except for by like Richard Brody, who I think defends it, of course. But like I've even heard like Chirac is interesting. Jungle Fever gets a lot of hate, but is like has a lot to love about it. I mean, he's just like he's a really interesting filmmaker. And I always, even when some of his stuff isn't doing it for me, like even when the choices feel a little clunky, I'm always like really enjoying the movie and like what I'm watching. I'm always very invested, and that certainly applies to Clockers in a lot of ways. Though Clockers is, I think, more interesting than just that. I haven't seen She Hate Me. That's the one. Is that the one with Anthony Mackie? Black Klansman was rough editing wise. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I remember the third act feeling a little messy. But for the most part, I remember, really liking it. All of his movies, including this one, usually have like a total like explosion at the end of like fury and energy, and he really knows how to land a movie, in my opinion, even if it like gets a little messy getting there. What was your favorite Clockers performance? Ooh, tough one. Man, that's it's probably Delroy Lindo. Harvey Keitel's pretty great though. But Delroy Lindo was really great. I really liked I'm forgetting his name. It's like, but he played Childs in The Thing. He's in this movie, and he's really good in it. I just kept thinking that's Childs. I didn't think Mekhi Phifer was as bad as people make him out to be. Keith David, thank you. Yes, he's great. He's always like kind of whispering. M3KKR, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hot take maybe. In Sinners, one twin always had to wear red details and one had to wear blue because Michael B. Jordan isn't a good enough actor to make the twins otherwise discernible from one another. Is that so? I saw someone say that and was like, is that true? Was that ever confirmed? I'm sure it gets confusing on set, but also I don't know if I really believe that. Like, how do you know he didn't know one from the other? Like, also, were there other features? There were, like, one had, like, something going on with his tooth. I need to rewatch that movie. It's been too long. Delroy Lindo did a talk at my school. Really cool guy and gave us a lot of good advice. Doesn't surprise me. He seems like a good, chill guy. He seemed pretty mad that he lost at the Oscars. I don't know if you saw the clip of him losing to Sean Penn, but he was not clapping. What was I talking about? Clockers, but we're not talking about Clockers yet. I'm gonna save that. At the top of the hour, we'll talk about it. Can you please watch Crooklyn? I really want to watch Crooklyn too. There's a ton of Spike Lee that I want to watch. Favorite Martin Scorsese movie now? Martin Scorsese also relevant to the Clockers conversation, by the way, but we'll get there. Damn. It's always such a tough question. I really like The Wolf of Wall Street. The more it ages with me, the more I'm like, that really is like the best. I love that movie so much. It might be that one. Yeah. You saw Clockers. Did I miss anything? We haven't talked about it yet. We're going to talk about it in just a second. That's good timing on your part. Thoughts on the new Sonic and Jim Carrey's return? I got no thoughts on that. I'm really tapped out of whatever's going on with Sonic these days. I saw the first movie and was like, that was better than I thought it was going to be. But I had no urge to keep going. I was like, I saw what I needed to see there. All love to the Sonic fans. After Hours is best Scorsese. It's really quite funny how this movie has aged over the years. when and this is, I don't know what it is. I think it just really resonates with this generation, including me. But that movie has a completely different reputation now than it did 5 years ago even. Because when I made that video, my original Martin Scorsese ranked in 2019, and this is not me like patting myself on the back or anything, but I was like, this is one of my favorite Scorsese movies. I don't think it's one of his, like, I don't know if you can call this one of his masterpieces or one of his best, but to me, I'm like, this is one of my favorites. I love watching this movie. And over the last few years, partly because of maybe like the Criterion release, maybe because new movies like Uncut Gems kind of resemble it, like maybe because this like style of stressful panic attack cinema has become so popularized and beloved. After Hours just kind of fits the mold of what people want, and so it feels very much like the most, in my opinion, Gen Z Scorsese movie, just because it's fairly simple, and I don't mean that as a diss, but it's fairly straightforward and prioritizes like this feeling more than anything. Whereas like I think a lot of Scorsese movies seem to prioritize like substance and have layers and layers and layers and very convoluted plot structures often. But After Hours just seems to capture the essence of, I think, what this younger generation of filmgoers is after. And it's just fascinating to me to see how it's aged. Also, the surrealist, like, absurdist sense of humor seems really up people's alley right now. It's fascinating. I really just that you saying that got me going. I was like, this movie has aged so interestingly over the last couple years. And all to say, if you haven't seen it, you might really like it. Michael, thank you for the super chat. Will Dune 3 or The Odyssey be the best movie ever made? Good chance both of them end up being that. There's a lot of things adding up to both of those being the best movies ever made. Yeah. I will say the Odyssey trailer wasn't doing it for me the way the Dune trailer does it for me. That might just be me though. I'm more attached to the Dune story than I am the Odyssey. Seen the Kevin Panahi vid online? Of course. It's a ridiculous video. It's insane that was captured on video. But it is funny, like, not enough people talking about how, like, for how much Kevin O'Leary is, like, flexing everything and he's got this, like, absurd outfit on, Panahi is just completely mogging him just a couple feet away. I mean, the all black with the black sunglasses, I'm like, that looks a lot better. He just looks a lot better. It's a much cleaner fit. Goes a lot harder, ultimately. Hudsucker Proxy for New Year's next year? This year, I guess? Maybe. I mean, it's a good New Year's movie. I accidentally watched it like 2 days after this year's New Year's. I didn't know that it was a New Year's movie. You gonna watch Doomsday and Messiah same day, Karst? No. Are they gonna? They're gonna call that Doomsday, aren't they? They probably already are. I can see it happening. I'm not gonna do that. I want to see Dune with like a healthy amount of like room to breathe and like anticipation. I want to like just get ready, and then I want to like sit with it. I don't want to ruin my day. I want to dedicate a day just for Dune, and then in like a couple days I'll go see Doomsday. Yeah, it's already called that. That's awesome. Of course. You need to rewatch Adaptation, man. I really do. It's a good one. That is a good movie. Zendaya and Cate Blanchett in a movie, good idea. Of course. Is that happening? They should help finance Todd Field's next movie. I would love to see Zendaya in a Todd Field movie. What the Falconer? Thank you for being a member for 3 months. Appreciate it. Can you show us your favorite piece of film memorabilia? You caught me at a bad time. I'm not actually in my normal office space where a lot of that stuff is. I don't even have that much of it, by the way. I'm at home in Minnesota, but I'm trying to look for like anything that would be interesting to show you. I went when I was this is not good. When I was I did a program in LA a couple of years ago through school, and part of the program was they took us to see Jimmy Kimmel, because they had the Jimmy Kimmel producer come in and speak with us, which was fascinating hearing from her, by the way. She was the showrunner on Kimmel and was like such an interesting person to hear from and like hear about that process. But anyway, we got to go see the show for free, and we got Jimmy Kimmel water bottles. And that's what that was all leading up to. Nothing special. I have my my old Pokemon book with all my cards in it, but that means absolutely nothing. Yeah, what are we working with here? Yeah, that's nothing to write home about. Yeah, no, I got nothing cool here. I got nothing special. I have a giant collection of Fader magazines, one of which has Drake on the cover. And who's that? Rihanna? So that's really all I got, man. I'm not a huge I don't have much. I have a Wii U sitting over there. Jimmy Kimmel is the greatest Jimmy of his generation. Let's think on that for a second. I take you're a huge Drake fan. No. There's some Drake songs I enjoy, of course. Yeah, you got the the Kimmel bodily fluids bottle. Yeah. You know, I think it's time to get into the conversation now that I think about it. It's time to talk about clockers. But before we do that, if you're new here, we like to nominate a movie of the week every week. We do this is a movie club at the end of the day. Every week we talk about a movie that the community votes on. I open it up to chat to nominate 4 films for next week, and then members of the channel get to vote on a poll over on the community tab for that next week's movie. So I want to open it up to chat for some ideas for next week. I like the idea of putting Titty Cup Follies back in there in honor of Frederick Wiseman. I've never seen a Frederick Wiseman movie, and it would be good to finally do that. Fitzcarraldo is an interesting idea. It really is. See, Maxwell, I'm not going to put Juno in there, but I like where your head's at. I like something. I like the idea of an early 2000s indie comedy, indie drama, like something in that range is interesting to me. Because we don't do those very often here. Nothing. We do a lot of the stuffy like Criterion stuff, but I'm like, what if we did something stupid? Not that Juno is stupid, but I'm gonna put in Titty Cup Follies, which is not what I was describing just now, but is one that I wanna put up there. Hulk 2003. Now that's too stupid, unfortunately. Next week. Titty Cup Follies. I'm gonna push for that one. That's would be an interesting one to talk about. Igby Goes Down. That's exactly what I was looking for. Yes, Igby Goes Down is exactly. Yes, you nailed it. You nailed it. Anchorman. I've never seen it. I've never seen Step Brothers. Would you guys mind if I put Step Brothers in there? Because I know some people might not like Step Brothers, but I've never seen it, and I I'm very curious to see what that's like. Red Rooms, we need thoughts. I've seen Red Rooms. I think it's a masterpiece. It's probably the best cyber horror of our time. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into it right now, but like, it's quite a fantastic film in my opinion. Really dark and horrifying watch. Hoop Dreams. Ooh, Hoop Dreams would be interesting. Margaret. I can't do 2 Kieran Culkin movies. That'd feel weird. Candy, 2006. I don't even know if I'm familiar. I love Four Lions. You missed my super chat? Very sorry. Very sorry. What the Falconer, thank you for the super chat. Apologies for that. Team America World Police or South Park? I've heard about Team America World Police. I don't know if I'm in the mood for either of those. I apologize. Thank you for the suggestions. I'm going to put those in my back pocket for a future week, though. Titan AE, we're always doing this, man. Not right now. Did I miss another super chat? No, I got everybody. No, you know what? I'm going to throw back in The Great Dictator because that was an option a few weeks ago, and I thought that was an interesting option. And I think it'd be interesting. Okay, so the nominees for next week. You can vote on these in the community tab. We have Titty Cut Follies, Frederick Wiseman. Igby Goes Down, Kieran Culkin. Step Brothers. Enough said. The Great Dictator, Charlie Chaplin. If you are a member, you can vote. This poll is live on the community page, community tab of this channel. There's more reasons than just this to become a member, by the way. It's a great way to get exclusive member-only videos every month. It's more like video. We also play the members in Cine to Nerdle every week. Probably not this week, though. So it's up to you. But if you want to vote on the poll, it's up right now. What the Falconer, thank you for another super chat. Appreciate you. Last chat before I got to go. Where's the 3-hour DC of Surf's Up? Oh, Director's Cut. People are so funny. People are all, because I made that my Letterboxd review as a joke. I was like, watched the 3-hour Director's Cut. And I get so many messages still of people being like, yo, where'd you get that? And I'm like, that does not exist. I'm sorry. It was a joke. Some people really think it exists, and I apologize. I guess it's like a little believable, but I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I was just messing around. This is like my way of saying you need to not take what I say seriously most of the time, unless I say take it seriously. But yeah, I'm sorry to disappoint you. Time for the joint. It is time for the joint. You're breaking my heart, Karst. I'm sorry. You also messed with me. I thought I was misreading that, but you typed it Harst Cart. Okay. Yeah, let's talk about today's movie. The movie you guys voted on last week was Clockers, directed by Spike Lee. Legendary filmmaker Spike Lee, one of our greatest auteurs, still working. What is he working on next, by the way? Is there any updates on that? I don't believe a fucking word Karsten says. John asked me for... John, do not explain what happened. But he asked me for advice on something yesterday, and it just... it did not go well, is all I'm saying. Clockers, 1995 film, directed by Spike Lee, starring Harvey Keitel, John Turturro, Delroy Lindo, Mekhi Phifer, Isaiah Washington, and Keith David. The synopsis reads, it tells the story of Strike, a street-level drug dealer who becomes entangled in a murder investigation. There's a boxing movie that Spike planned to make. Ooh, that could be interesting. Spike Lee, the Quentin Tarantino hater. It's funny. I watched a I know what you're referring to because of the Martin Scorsese thing, but also just watching I was doing some prep for this and watched an interview between Spike Lee and Charlie Rose about the film. And dude, first of all, Charlie Rose is like not that good of an interviewer. So every now and then you'll find a gem, but it's usually not his him being good at his job. It's usually just the filmmaker saying something good. But this interview with Spike Lee it was kind of painful to watch because he brings up, I mean, it's 1995, so like Tarantino's real hot off of Reservoir Dogs. I don't know if Pulp Fiction had come out by then. That was 94, right? But anyway, he just keeps hounding him, being like, "Do you see any Tarantino in this movie? Were you influenced by?" And Spike Lee keeps being like, "No, man, no." And he just keeps asking him about like Casino and what he thinks of all these other movies, and doesn't really ask him anything about his own movie. And it's just he doesn't really have any interesting interviewing questions. Like Spike Lee will be halfway through explaining something and Charlie Rose will just be like, "Why?" And Spike was in the middle of explaining why, and it's just like so painful to listen to. But anyway, is Spike Lee a good actor? I think he gets the job done in his own movies. I think he knows what he's there to do in his films. I haven't really seen him act in anything other than his own work, so I think Spike Lee's acting is as good as his directing. I don't know. I can't tell the tone of that message. I don't know if you're saying he's a bad actor and that means his directing is bad, or if he's like a really good actor. He's good in this movie. I think he's probably, when he is like he's very good in Do the Right Thing. I love the role he has in Do the Right Thing. In She's Gotta Have It, that's when I was like, I was like, I don't know if I'm on board with him as an actor here. But anyway, Clockers. This is an interesting movie. This is a very interesting movie. It comes in the middle of Spike Lee's peak, I would argue. Not peak, but like he's in his prime at this point. This comes after a lot of his hits, which surprised me. I thought this would be more in the middle, but by this point he had done Malcolm X, he had done Do the Right Thing, he had done Crooklyn, Mo Better Blues. I haven't seen School Days. I'm not very familiar with School Days, but he's pretty established at this point. This is based on the Richard Price book, who Richard Price, if you didn't know, also wrote The Color of Money, which is something I wanted to note because I love that movie. Careful with spoilers. Yes, I'll be careful, but I do really want to talk about the ending when we get there. Just a heads up, but I'll give a heads up when I start talking about the ending. Anyway, this was going to be made by Martin Scorsese, as far as I know. This was going to be Scorsese's film, but Scorsese wanted to go and do Casino instead, so it came over to Spike. Spike took over. I can't really picture anyone else doing this movie, which is kind of like just how it goes with Spike Lee. It's like he adds his own twist on things and is so distinct about his vision as a filmmaker that it's like really hard to see this as anything else, which is why it's very interesting that he has twice now adapted classics like Old Boy and High and Low. I'm like, why would you do this? There conceptually, yes, it should work. And I think he does something interesting with it in Highest to Lowest. I haven't seen Old Boy, but the fact that he is going after classics that do not need that treatment is crazy to me. That said, I thought he did a really great job with this film. I really liked this film, just to get that out there. It's a bit of a thorny one, and by thorny I mean like it's a bit like it really feels like a movie that's all tangled up. And there's a lot of different perspectives and a lot of different characters coming in and out. It's a bit Rashomon in some ways. You're seeing a lot of different perspectives on one singular event and just seeing all the different threads that were weaved together to make what happened happen, and then how the entire community basically falls apart as a result is very, I mean, it's very overwhelming to watch. But I think Spike Lee, who's very good at doing these like ensemble pieces, kind of hits it out of the park. I mean, this is the kind of movie and the kind of structure that he's very comfortable making. It seems like him just doing it's like the perfect story for him to do, basically. And that's why, talking about this a little bit later, I would say this is both like a pivotal Spike Lee movie, like it's a defining Spike Lee work. Like, you get everything you need out of him as a filmmaker here. But I also don't know if it's doing anything particularly noteworthy or distinct next to the rest of his work, which we'll unpack a little bit more throughout this. Spike Lee Lion remake, that would be great. I mean, you could say Do the Right Thing is in a lot of ways, like, at least spiritually similar to Lion. I get the same feelings out of both films, but I don't know. That's why I don't think he would even need to make Lion. He kind of has already made that movie. Spike Lee is really good at building communities of characters. The story feels very suited for him. Yes, he is. I think that's why his movies are so that they're so infuriating sometimes, or they're just so devastating to watch. I truly cannot tell you if there's an experience I've had that was more like soul crushing than watching Do the Right Thing for the first time. I was like my head felt hot leaving the room. We watched it in class, and I was just absolutely blown away by it. There's a reason that's his classic. And I feel like I haven't felt that as strongly with any of his other films that I've seen. I still think that's why Do the Right Thing is so special, but I get like little hints of that in everything else, and that definitely goes for this film. And I think he gets there because he does such a great job building these communities and fleshing out these characters and their relationships to one another. There's a like tremendous sense of warmth in these relationships and in how everybody, and there's so much love going on. He clearly loves the people he tells stories about, which is what makes the violence that comes in and the way people are torn apart and taken out of each other's lives so sad, and because you just feel it at such a deeper level than usual. I feel like a lot of crime films and a lot of hood films specifically, because this feels like his take on the quote unquote hood film. He said it in the Charlie Rose interview that like he was very on the fence about signing on to this project because this specific subgenre of crime film felt like it was on its last breath and that it had become cliche by that point. And he was like, I didn't really know if there was anywhere interesting to go with it, which I think recontextualizes what this is doing in a really cool way. Especially the way it ends. It feels like the most layered and complex version of that film that I've seen. And it's interesting to see him just tackle it very straight on instead of it being like a piece to a larger thing, which is how his films usually feel. But anyway, what I was saying is that those films always feel very cold. Crime, gangster, hood, whatever. They always feel very like cut and dry, and like they're out to depict like the reality of the situation. And oftentimes they're very good in that way. I feel like Mean Streets, that's maybe a bit of a stretch. That's why I was going to bring up Scorsese's, because I feel like Scorsese's films do a great job at that, and they're very, rich character pieces and rich pieces about that culture, but they can often feel very cold, intentionally so. But Spike's work, especially here, is like there's so much heart there, and that makes them. That's why he's like often mislabeled as a very angry filmmaker, which I don't think he is. I think he's he has a lot of love in all of his work, and it only like comes out angry because you just see like what happens to these environments that he's shown you. Anyway, that's feels like that was more so like something to say about his entire filmography, and less so about Clocker specifically. But that's how I feel about this movie. Is it's a great distillation of all of his themes and like all of his traits as a filmmaker into one. And I loved it, man. I loved it. What else? Loved the lighting in Clockers. It was very sunny for such a dark tale. It's got some crazy lighting. Yeah, there's some spots in. I mean, all of the. I know this isn't what you're describing with the sun, but like the lighting in the interrogation scenes where the light is so overblown that it's like glowing off of them it's really cool. It's really bizarre. I mean, I know there's other films that used that technique and that style of film back then. But like, oof, when those shots like pop up for the first time, you're just like, whoa, that is really crazy looking. I mean, you get a lot of his usual, like, very fun, stylistic, kaleidoscopic look throughout this. There's a specific shot of also an interrogation, but where it's just the close-up of the eye, and Harvey Keitel, you can see him in the reflection of the eye, which is an idea that, like, you know, has certainly been done before, but it's the way he uses it here and the way that it lands on Harvey Keitel saying something along the lines of, like, I want to see this through your eyes, is just so sick. It's just so sick. It's one of those just great, like, let's do it because we can Spike Lee moments that I just absolutely loved. What else? That said, okay, some of his choices are interesting. I know we touched on it a little bit earlier, but there's a lot of music playing in this movie. Oftentimes over dialogue scenes. Oftentimes it's music with lyrics and singing that's happening on top of people talking. And I think it's interesting. I always think that, like, when Spike puts in music, it adds a really interesting texture to his scenes. Like, I always feel like when I'm watching a scene of his on its own, he's painting out an entire portrait in just that one scene. And to do that, he needs to put in, you know, a specific piece of music. He needs to move the camera in a certain way. The lighting needs to be very distinct. I feel like he never really treats films as like the film itself is trying to say like one big message about a certain thing, but like he will not ever rely on like consistency on a scene by scene basis. Like if a certain scene needs to be a certain way, he'll do it that way without needing to know what comes after or before it, if that makes sense. Like, and that reason his movies sometimes come off very messy. The editing is certainly jarring in all of his films, I would say. I think that's why Do the Right Thing maybe works the best for the most people, is because it feels the most consistent and like it follows like a single thread. But here certainly he's jumping all over the place, and that is to say, some of those music choices did not work for me. They felt very distracting, sometimes a little forced. Yeah, and it just felt like an easy fix. Like, why don't we just take out the singing? Why don't we just not have people singing right now? But, you know, maybe I'm just not there yet. Your undertone take was a miss, respectfully. I don't know, man. That movie was not great. I really, like, every time I think back to it and the acting and the story, I'm just like, it is, I stand by the fact that it's very cool conceptually. I think it's a conceptually very cool movie, and the last 5 minutes are interesting. They're going somewhere dark and evil and truly nihilistic with it, which I was like, yes, definitely. But the rest of it, I was like, this is a rough watch. None of this is really working for me. But that's just me. That's just me. If it's your thing, it's your thing. I hate to say it. I really liked when the film went more abstract, like with Keitel briefing the kid towards the end. That is a scene I've seen out of context a couple times. I like recognized that from either like film school or somewhere. it's like an iconic scene, and I love Keitel in that scene specifically. It's a very tough scene for him as an actor because it's like, how are you even supposed to direct that? How are you even supposed to deliver those lines in what is like kind of this like abstract dream thing? It's a really odd scene, but it works so well. He looks so bizarre in the way he's framed with like how wide the background is. It kind of looked like it was almost like kind of cartoonish. It's like something you would see in like a cartoon or like anime, but it's so sick. It works really well. And it's just been this really interesting framing and distortion. The opening was so fucked up. Opening was pretty fucked up. It's a pretty harsh way of starting it. But I liked I was watching the Roger Ebert review for this, the Ebert and Siskel review, and they had an interesting way of putting it where it's like the film feels like it starts with those images, and they're images that you would see on like the news or in like a report, and then the film is really serving as like a what happened, like everything surrounding the image is basically what the film turns into. And like who are these people? Who was in their lives? How did this happen? I thought that was a cool way of looking at it. Cookie's here. Hello, Cookie. How's it going? Favorite scene? Honestly, you kind of stole it from me. I was gonna say the Harvey Keitel one near the end is pretty great. I also love the way the iconic Spike dolly shot shows up here. It's a very good dolly shot. I'd seen that shot before because we talked about the dolly stuff in film school, and they showed a clip from Clockers, but I completely forgot what happened in it. It definitely came as a surprise to me without spoiling yet. Spike's movies are usually pretty funny, but this one was such a downer. Yeah, I didn't find a lot of this movie very funny. There was a lot of warmth still. I stand by that. I think there's a lot of weird positivity. How you read the ending of this film is super all over the place. I have a lot to say about that, but in a second. But yeah, no, this is not one of his funnier movies, especially next to like I think the last Spike movie. I mean, Highest to Lowest had a lot of funny moments. I think Denzel Washington in that movie is kind of hilarious. I think he's really funny in that movie, and it's not, people misread it as taking it seriously, and I'm like, no, he's being a goof most of that movie. And then He Got Game has plenty of humor too, but yeah, no, this one feels definitely, I mean, the whole thing is about death at the end of the day. It's about like violence and like horrible toxic cycles, and there's not much to laugh about there. When the camera pulls back in the room where Strike playing his train set depicted something, dude, all the train stuff was, I loved that aspect of the movie. That's something I don't really like. I'd love to read a couple more interviews from Spike about the inclusion of the trains and like what that represented to him, because I'm like, I mean, obviously you see what happens in the end, but I'm like, it was still like an interesting idea to like hone in on throughout the film that I thought was, I just loved all that stuff. And I loved how he uses like the train set as an example of something he bought with the money he earned from hustling, and it's like, and then what the train comes to represent in the end, and just goes full circle. I was like, that's really, I thought it was neat. Dude, remember last week when we said we were going to have a lighter and less heavy movie of the week? I do remember that, and I didn't know what I was getting into here, man. I mean, Spike movies, that's the thing. They are heavy. They are downers, but there's the reason they're so watchable and so lovable is that it's never so one-noted. I mean, I mean, even though this is a downer, I felt it's not as I wouldn't call this bleak. It's not as bleak as something like The Wailing. I'm making taquitos. That sounds great. I haven't seen She Hate Me. No, I'm surprised you're not at South by Southwest. Yeah, I wanted to go to South by, but it's one of those timing things that just doesn't work out. And I also kind of have my film festivals picked out and chosen for the year, and South by just never feels like it's one that makes the cut. Would you say this is a good entryway into Spike's filmography? I don't know. It might feel a bit clunky and overwhelming for someone not familiar with what he's doing. I would want someone to go into his filmography with like a surefire hit, which is why I would start with Do the Right Thing. That's how I started, and I absolutely fell in love. I was like, this is an amazing filmmaker. This is such an interesting vision. I wouldn't start with like Black Klansman. I don't feel like that's entirely representative of what he usually does. Or To Five Bloods. I would start with Do the Right Thing. This feels representative of who he is as a filmmaker, but it might be a bit. I don't think you would appreciate as much if you started with it, is what I'm trying to say. This was my first, and I enjoyed it. That's interesting. I was going to ask that question. I forgot to ask that at the top if this was anybody's first Spike Lee movie. But I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad he's a very good filmmaker. It's interesting. I saw not to quote someone else's review again, but there's a critic I follow on Letterboxd, Robert Daniels, who noted that there's a lot of Moonlight pulls a lot from this movie, which is certainly true. You see a lot of Moonlight in here. Just in the you see Strike and Tyrone and Rodney, and those are kind of it's like a child and then an older man who's influencing the child, and then an even older guy who's influenced that guy who's influencing the kid, and you just see how these traits are this toxicity is passed down, and why this feels like such a deep-rooted problem in the community. And it's told just so beautifully. I feel like that's something that it's a sort of what this movie is. I would say it's like half that, but then half like what Harvey Keitel and John Turturro do. But I feel like Moonlight takes that and just runs with it. Okay, I was gonna bring up I'm gonna try not to spoil too hard. But I wanted to talk about the ending because I'm very curious, like how some of you read it. Without spoiling it, you can say if you thought it was like a tragic ending or a hopeful ending. Based on the interview I saw with Spike, he kind of wanted it to read as like a hopeful thing. Now, I don't know how much to like take his word for that. Like, I don't know if that's entirely true. I think it's a more complicated issue than that. Because while you could say it's like so much of the film stems from the fact that he's trapped in this environment and this is a world he just can't break out of, and like that's the root of a lot of his issues. I think the idea of him having to leave his home is kind of tragic to me. I mean, I found that really sad, that it's like he's basically forced to leave altogether to find peace and to move on and grow as a person. But I don't know. There's certainly it was a unexpected ending, I have to say, for like I guess what I've expected from Spike. You don't typically see his movies this ingrained in these environments like break out elsewhere, and this certainly does. But yeah, it was a very interesting tone to end on, but I really liked that choice. I found it really tragic and bleak, but in a good way. That's the thing, yeah. It's a happy ending for that character and a bleak ending for the environment and his neighborhood and the system, basically. Slight spoilers. I think Strike is going to be fine for a while, and then his past will creep back up and consume him. I mean, who's to say, man? He's such an interesting character because you can tell. That's why I think that performance is really not bad at all. Even though surprisingly was given a lot of shit, because I think he does a great job portraying this character as having to put up this like tough guy mask without really genuinely feeling that. Like you can tell he's very uncomfortable. I mean, he's having like stomach issues the whole movie. He's like physically uncomfortable being like who he is in this movie because that's not who he is. And it gives him like this debilitating anxiety. I thought he played it very well. We still talking about the movie? We are. I'm going to wrap it up soon though. This is the recovery stream. Yeah. Yeah, we barely talked about the Oscars. I'm going to be done with spoilers now, if that helps. But yeah, good movie, great movie. Like I said, I don't know if this is... It's not my favorite Spike Lee. I think there's movies of his that go a bit deeper with it. It's funny that this and Casino have this weird relationship with one another because Martin Scorsese ran off of this to do Casino, because I feel like this to me is in the same place in Spike's filmography that like Casino is in Scorsese's, where it's like this is him doing what he does really well. He is very good at this type of movie. You could argue this is right before he kind of puts that style of film to bed for a little bit, which is the same with Casino. And it's a great movie for that reason. It's very representative of him as a filmmaker. Very underrated too, yes. But also maybe not his most artistically ambitious next to the rest of it. Like he is I don't want to I take that back. I was going to say he's coasting here, but he's not. He's doing a lot with the material. But you can tell that within this genre, he feels like there are tropes that he could easily walk into that he narrowly avoids every chance he gets. But anyway, really liked this. Very interesting movie. If you didn't watch it this week, you should definitely check it out. You should check out Spike Lee in general if you haven't seen any of his films, which I guess a couple people haven't. Very good filmmaker, very interesting filmmaker. This is kind of the final classic Spike movie. Yes, yeah. Which is like kind of it marks the end of that career. Era. And Casino kind of marks the end of that Marty era in the same way. Which is why it's really interesting the way the two kind of pair up with each other. Yeah. Anyway. That's Clockers. Check it out. I gave it a 4 out of 5. Let's check in on the poll real quick. Let's check in on the poll. Whoa. Not at all what I was expecting. Damn. Okay. 10% Igby goes down. Igby goes down in the polls, man. Titty Got Follies, 14%. Step Brothers, 36%. The Great Dictator, 40%. Looks like the Great Dictator is leading the way. Damn. What does this chat mean? If someone's voice doubled at a new mode of expression, cool. I don't know what that means. Tim will win one day. He'll win one day. I'm not too concerned about it. I think it's fine. Okay, well, for the rest of the stream, like I said, I'm in a new place this week, so I don't really have the ability to play games. So for the next 30 minutes, I'm just opening it up to a normal ass Q&A chatting. I mean, there's not much else I can do, and chat is giving you riddles now. Dude, I know. I don't know how to pick that one apart. But yeah, why was the stream early? Because I have dinner plans, hanging out with my family tonight. Timmy has a long and successful career ahead of him. Listen, I've been really kind of riding on that Al Pacino comparison. Like him, Al Pacino, Marlon Brando, Leo. It doesn't happen this early. That's just what happens, man. It just means we're going to get better films down the line. Or will we? He'll win for a worse movie, is how it works. Needed to hear your Faces of Death thoughts. It's good. It's a very fun movie. It's a very interesting movie about it. It's an interesting take on that material, because I was very curious how it would how they would go about it, given what the original film is. It's not like a direct remake. It's not a remake, in my opinion. I mean, I don't really know how they would describe it, but it's not like the same mockumentary style. It's more like based on the idea of Faces of Death, but told in the modern age. I don't want to say too much, because when you watch it, it kind of it's a really cool premise that I was not aware of going into it. So yeah, it was fun. It was a really good movie. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say about it, to be honest. But it was cool. Started watching Narcos. My parents are in Narcos right now. They're really enjoying it. I need to get in there. They were such big fans of The Secret Agent that they hopped into Narcos. They love him. What is your favorite Nathan Fielder project? I like I think The Rehearsal is probably the one that's doing it for me the most, but the finale of The Curse is, I think, the best thing he's ever been a part of. That's the best thing he's ever done, is the finale to The Curse. But have you guys seen the theories about Nathan Fielder and that like TikTok boy band? You know what I'm talking about? They're very convincing, and it makes me really excited. It's so funny to me, especially because the actual theories getting out there and the way people are talking about it on Reddit, the Saja Boys, yeah. I'm like, this all will be in the show. The theorizing will end up in the show. It's pretty crazy. I'm in the middle of watching The Curse for the first time right now. Man, I gotta just say, stick with it. Because you might be like, what is this doing? Where is this going? Stick with it. I promise you. What's your favorite Akira Kurosawa film? I really like... It might be High and Low. That's the one that does it for me the most. That or Ran. Karsten, will you be watching Bygone's Resurrection soon? It's my favorite of last year. Yes. That's probably the biggest mix-up, or not mix-up, but like biggest mess-up on my part is not seeing that in theaters, because it's obviously like a theater movie. But I know it's coming to Criterion next month, I believe, and I'm going to make a night out of it. I'm going to turn up the volume on the TV and shut off all the lights and really make it as special as I can make it, because I'm excited for that movie and I feel bad for not watching it in the theater. Have you beat Bacopia yet? No, I have not. I'm actually stuck right now. I'm a little stuck and frustrated. What Oscar category would you add? Interesting. I would add best directorial debut. That's what it would be called, yeah. I think we need to have like a best new artist equivalent at the Oscars. I think it's because that basically that is what they use for like shorts, but like a lot of the time these shorts filmmakers don't really go. I'm like, there's a lot of like, it's a perfect way to represent a couple indies at the awards. How are you stuck? I'm not stuck, but I'm just like, I'm not in the mood to do what they want me to do. They want me to find a bunch of glass, and I don't want to go get glass. Are you in the Skyland, John? I very much think we need a best directorial debut category. Bro, I got 21 out of 24 categories at Oscars correct. What was like? I'm curious. What was the risky one that you got right? Because a lot of them were pretty predictable. But what was the? Did you get cinematography? You're on level 4 of the skyscraper. See, that's where I only did level 2, but they were like, it's gonna take an hour, and then I put the game away and I haven't booted it back up again. I didn't know you could get glass out of... Oh, interesting. Casting was crazy. We all got it wrong. Yeah, I mean, that was just blind guess. I was like, I don't know what's going to happen here. I may be seeing things, but why does Czechoslovakia have so many film girl bangers? Well, wasn't there like a big like feminist movement in like a lot of the filmmaking in Czechoslovakia, or am I wrong? Isn't that like what Daisies was a part of? Cinematography, short film, and short animated film. Those were the only ones I got wrong. So you guessed casting right. Damn. No one could have seen the tie coming. Of course not. Especially not in that category. That was crazy. I'm never going to predict a tie. That would be insane to ever predict a tie. That at that point, you're just like randomly guessing. Favorite video game of all time? I hate to be that guy. It's probably Tears of the Kingdom. I'm a Nintendo boy, so it was going to be one of those games, but I really, truly love that game. Probably the best memories I've ever had with the game. Didn't want it to be over. Still don't want it to be over. Technically not over, but I'm burnt out. How much of your audience do you think went to / is in film school? I safely assume most of you are. My only way of guessing that is that every time I get recognized, or I should say 90% of the time I get recognized, is at an art house theater. And it's almost every time I go to a movie theater for like a rep screening. There's always like a freshman in film school. And even not that. Like I went to I went dancing this last weekend to a disco thing, which is very fun by the way. But I got recognized there, and they were like 3 USC students, and I was like, well, look at that. That's like every time I get recognized in person, it's most of the time gonna be a film student. So I'm gonna assume like maybe 70% disco. Yes, yeah, it was literally disco. There's a disco ball. There were bubbles. Speaking of video games, why do you think film adaptations have always been so rough? And do you think we'll ever truly get a great video game movie? I think we're like on our way. Like I don't. Well, it's just like a different. It's like I think by design, these movies need to rely on Easter eggs and references. Like the stories for games are typically so thin because that's not the priority for them a lot of the time. And even when they are, like in The Last of Us, then it's like you don't want to fuck up the story, and so the adaptation is like just stuck having to follow it so straight that it's a little flat. And so it just feels like they don't really know how to translate what's happening in a game into a movie in a way that captures the appeal in the same way. So they're left having to adapt basically just the world. And then that very quickly turns into you just stuffing a film with all these different references to the world that you love, because what else is the appeal? I truly think the only like decent examples are the Pokemon movies, which I just rewatched the first one. And even though that has flaws, I'm like, well, this is kind of like still capturing the magic of Pokemon. Like, this is still getting at the appeal. And I can't think of a lot of other video game adaptations that have succeeded in that same way. Super Mario movie was very bland, but like fine. That's like, maybe if that's the most successful example, then damn. I'm holding out hope for the Legend of Zelda one, though I don't know what it's gonna, because that filmmaker Wes Ball is very good at world building and VFX, so it could be good. It could be good. Do you think Zach Kreger's Resident Evil movie will be any good? I don't know. I've never played Resident Evil. I don't really have much of an opinion on it, but I like Zach Kreger, so I would assume it would be pretty good. Are you making a March Madness bracket? Who's your champ? And what lower seed can make a run? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what's going on. No. Sorry. I did that one year just blindly. Went off the names of the teams. I really am tapped out there. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I missed it, but I can't believe how bad the sound production was at the Oscars. I didn't really notice, maybe because I was like too overwhelmed by what was happening on stream. Like mentally everything was loud. So I was like just picking up bits of information when I could. But I thought they were fine, but like I rewatched a clip from the Best Actor presentation and you couldn't even hear the clip of Michael B. Jordan in Sinners because people were clapping over it, and that was pretty bad. Admittedly. The sound production during the sound performance was real bad. Sound performance. Oh, during the golden performance. Damn. Great Dictator still leading the way, by the way. Just checked in. It's looking like that's going to be the winner. If you want to change that, you can vote on the poll. But I just wanted to check in because we are nearing the end. I'm going to do, we'll do call-ins in a little bit. We'll boot up the call-ins in just a second. 2010s or 2020s, Yorgos? Ooh, that's an interesting question. I think I kind of got to go 2010s. To be honest with you, I really like Poor Things. I'll defend Kinds of Kindness, and I thought Begonia was fun. But I thought The Killing of a Sacred Deer fucked me up. The Favorite is a classic. The Lobster is a very interesting movie. Dogtooth is crazy bleak. Alps, I've tried 3 different times and have fallen asleep each time. It's a tight race. It's a tight race, but I think 2010s might just squeak ahead a little bit for me. Dogtooth was 2009. Never mind. Who will be this decade's defining director? Gosh, we've had this conversation a few times, and I always forget who I go with. It's a tight race. Sometimes I say Ari Aster, but I don't know if that's really the guy. Emerald Fennell, in a way. It's not Chloe Zhao. All love. It's not Chloe Zhao. I don't know if it's Coogler. Coogler's going to be he's one of our most successful directors. But you gotta define decade defining. Like, what is this decade? Like, what is the filmmaking of this decade? And that's why I'm like, Emerald Fennell kind of knows what it is. I do genuinely believe, and this is kind of like the Safdies in Uncut Gems influenced much of what we see in the 2020s. I think the Safdies have had an insane amount of influence on films this decade. I think Ari Aster has had a huge influence on horror. I actually just say this in my Project Hail Mary video, but Phil Lord and Chris Miller, I think, have a lot of influence on animated films. Not even in just the animation, but in like the style and the voice of them. Ethan Coen. I appreciate you just going for it. I don't know if I agree. Luca Guadagnino, he's on his own wavelength. There's not a lot of. Have you ever noticed there's not a lot of Luca Guadagnino ripoffs? Because he's hard to rip off. He's very specific, but you know when it's him. Rian Johnson, he makes movies about people today, but he's not. I don't know if his film's defined today. It's a really tough question. I don't think we're only in 2026. I don't know if we know this yet. We don't know yet. It feels early to say Emerald Fennel. Let's do some call-ins. Let's take a few calls. Lord and Miller didn't direct Into the Spider-Verse, though. I know. And I make sure to note that in the video. Can I say, while we're talking about being misinterpreted, you guys are acting like I shat on Conan in my... Oh, John, could you put the number up in the chat, by the way? We have backups, but if anyone wants to call in today, I just realized we don't have the number up. If you're there, John. I never said Conan was bad, by the way, just to say that, just to clear the air. There's people commenting on that video where I'm like, did you even watch the video? I said he was good. I was saying that other people were saying he was bad. And I was saying he wasn't terrible and that he was sharp and did a good job as a host. And then other people are like, I don't think you're giving Conan the respect he deserves. And I'm like, Jesus, man. When did I say that? Yes. Well, you say your top 4. You also say like what you're looking for, in a specific. I don't think John is here. Let's Sorry, I'm just reading some of the transcripts. I don't always get his jokes, but he's still the best we got. He is the best we got. Also, some of the jokes are supposed to be dumb on purpose. Let's run this one.
Hey, Karsten. Love your channel. I'm currently playing The Sims, and I need a good movie to watch in the background. For context, I like Elaine May, and I really like Nora Ephron films, so something along those lines, but anything else will do. Thank you. Bye.
Something to watch in the background. Also, could you guys hear the... sorry if that was a little quiet. I was mixing the audio levels during that. You're looking for something to play, something to watch in the background as you're playing Sims. You like Elaine May. You really like Nora Ephron films. Something along those lines. Something to watch in the background. You should try Broadcast News. It's probably too good of a film to put on in the background, but I feel like it would scratch that itch that you're looking for. Maybe I'm trying to not think of anything too good if it's just going to be on in the background. Dude, on in the background, put on Along Came Polly. Ben Stiller, Jennifer Aniston rom-com, Philip Seymour Hoffman comic relief performance. My first Philip Seymour Hoffman exposure as a child. Great movie. Not a good movie, by the way, but a great movie at the same time. It's the perfect background movie. Along Came Polly. Throw it on. Let's look at this one.
Hey, Karsten. My best friend just started film school, and I want to finish a script by the time he graduates. So I need films that are going to help me write a better movie. I prefer films that are early in the director's career, that are low budget, or that align with our tastes. or some combination of those three things. My top 4 is Akira, Return of the King, Moneyball, and Surf's Up. His top 4
fits right in.
Burning, Chinatown, The Thing, and Samurai X Trust and Betrayal. I'll also throw in that we're both big fans of Aaron Sorkin. And big fans of you, my guy. We love your videos,
Thank
bro.
You.
Thanks for the recommendations, and I hope you have a great day.
Okay. I wanted to finish a script by the time he graduates, so you need films that are going to help you write a better movie. I immediately go to like film, like big writer films, you know? And when I think of big writing, I think of like Noah Baumbach, who is very writey. And if you want like an early Baumbach film where it's like early in their career, but he's still doing that and it's maybe a little inspiring, I'd go Squid and the Whale, a movie that I'm not crazy about, but I cannot deny it's a very inspiring film to watch. Squid and the Whale. Someone beat me to it. Other big writing films. I mean, 12 Angry Men is interesting if you want to go back. You want to go back a little bit. I think you would like 12 Angry Men, assuming you haven't seen it. If you've already seen it, then shit. I like, courtroom drama, like procedural stuff is usually kind of in line with what you're looking for. But it might be a little too dry to get the brains, get the gears turning, sorry. Clockers. I don't know about Clockers for this. Bergman Island's interesting. Yeah, let's talk about Joachim Trier. Joachim Trier might do it for you. Maybe some like Oslo August 31st is a bit more bare than something like Worst Person. Or let me think of one more. The Verdict, starring Paul Newman. Yeah, definitely. Give it a shot. Night on Earth is good, but I don't know if that's going to help with this one. All right, let's do one more. I apologize I didn't have the number up. I'm aware that most of you didn't know where to call today, but next week we're going to have this figured out. Okay. Here we go. This is from March 4th.
Ooh, okay. First time, long time. Karsten, my 4 favorite films at the moment.
Sorry. What was that little noise? It was like...
are Martin
Did it again.
Silence, Charlie Kaufman's adaptation.
Nice.
Perfect Blue, the anime.
Nice.
And then finally, as a recent one, 2019's Little Women.
Ooh.
Okay, cool. Can't wait to hear your recommendations. Big fan. Keep it up. Bye-bye.
I like all these movies. These are all great movies. Little Women, good-ass movie. Interesting. Okay. You like Silence. That's a big one. That's a heady one. That feels... I can see the appeal in adaptation in Little Women together. Because those two are very... They're very, again, writery, honestly. They're movies for writers. Perfect Blue and Silence feel like those get a little darker. So, the Paul Schrader film Mishima, if you haven't seen it yet, feels like a good marriage of everything you love. Like there's a little bit, there's certainly dark, but there's also a certain kind of like breaking the fourth wall. Like it's about the process, about being someone of in a certain powerful and complicated role. Like there's a lot of like mixed. I'm trying to like blend everything you said together. Mishima might be your one. It's also it's so stylistically pretty insane. I like the Winter Light rec. I like the First Reformed rec. But yeah, those are some good starting points for what you're looking for. Okay, that's going to do for today. If I didn't get around to yours, don't worry. These are all, I played all old ones today, so just know that you might get read someday. But I have to shower and get ready for dinner. But guys, thank you for coming out. This went a lot smoother than I thought it would be, all things considered. appreciate you tuning in. Let's check in on the film club real quick, see which one won. I think I know what it is. Next week will be... It's going to be The Great Dictator. It's going to be The Great Dictator. Charlie Chaplin, The Great Dictator. Streaming, I believe, on Criterion. I'm 90% sure. If not, it's also on HBO Max. It's on Hulu. There's many places to find this. It is a classic Chaplin film, directed, starring. It's going to be a cool one. Okay. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Make sure to check out Clockers if you haven't already. It's a great film. That was this week's movie. And I got a video on Project Hail Mary coming in just a couple days, so be on the lookout for that. Guys, thank you for showing up, and if you want to support the channel, consider becoming a member. It would really help out what we do over here, and it's a ton of fun. Okay, that's going to do. Bye-bye.